Alright, this is an overview of FaceBot, how it works. So load in a character, this kid, go down to the FaceBot folder and drag this out and say execute. And every time that you do run the tool, it could take a couple seconds because it's going to validate your license. So once you have that, you'll see you have several tabs here. I guess we'll start with the first one. The first one has to do with the rig itself, the control rig. So when you want to work with that, what you do is you load it in and it pops in the scene. So right now you have it here. It doesn't have any control or anything over the model. So if you want to do that, what you first have to do is there's a process. The rig is actually designed either for direct control or for like animation retargeting. So if this model was already an animated model, it had morph animation where it was speaking something, and you press rig baked, what's going to do is going to take that morph animation and transfer it to the rig. In this case, this model doesn't have any morph animation, but you still need to bake it to begin with. That's the first step. So you press that. It hooks up all the connections so that now all the morph targets are plugged into the controls on this rig. And if I was to scrub one of the morph targets, it would make the controller related to that move. That doesn't make sense for what we want to do here. We're just going to animate the character. So we want to activate the rig, which will then do the opposite. What that does is now these controllers are controlling the morph targets. So I hope that makes sense. You can go both ways here. The thing about this process too, you have to do it in order. So, and you can't go back. You always have to do this first. You bake the rig first, then you activate the rig, and you have this right here slider which controls how much the rig is controlling the morph targets. Alright, so now the rig is active. If I want to, I already have a layer here. So I can just grab controls and start messing around. So this is the jaw control. You can open the jaw. If you move it sideways, it'll do this and that. There's also rotational. The morph targets on this model are very slight, so they could actually use some adjustment, but this kind of gives an idea of what those are. So you can close that. Using local space, everything zeroes back to what it's supposed to be. Also with the mouth, you have this blue controller here that's kind of the outline. That's the overall mouth control. So with that you can move it up, move it down, and you can also move it to the side, which does this and that. Okay. And you have individual controls of the lips. So there's a smile, then you pull it down for a frown. So it's the same on both sides. And they also go inward for the U shape. Oops, both selected. So there's that. And so you can also pull the lips down or upper lip. And these also move in Z. Again, these morph targets are very slight. They're on a different model. I'll demo with a different model and it has a much better effect. But upper lip can go in and out, and the lower lip can go in and out. this character doesn't really have nostrils, but there are morph targets for the nostrils, and it's just a moving up and down motion. And for the eyes, they're controlled by scale, and really you can make them wide and you can blink them. Those are pretty much the things you can do with them. So it's a very simple control, but I think, you know, for what you need to get done with these kind of things, it'll get the job done. For the eyebrows, you can move, I should do the other one so you can see it. You can move up, you can move down. They can also rotate in and then also rotate up. Yeah, so I think those are all the basic controls of the rig. We'll go into the eye controls next.